Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky and I am your muscle mommy. Not really. I'm working on it. I will eventually become a muscle mommy. But anyway, in today's video, we're just going to talk about kind of a strength training journey I'm on and about changes I've made in my life recently. Yeah, we're going to talk about basically gym rat stuff today. We're going to be full gym bros over here. We're going to talk about all that, my little tips and tricks for getting ready for the gym, for post gym, like how I take care of my hair and keep it from getting all funky. Little things like that. What kind of makeup I put on for the gym and why I put on some makeup before I go to the gym, what skincare I do, a few product recommendations, and we're going to talk about some of the effects that the gym and strength training has had on my life outside the gym. We're going to talk about other little habits I do, such as like planning my workouts, writing them down, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, a little bit of everything, and I'm going to give you kind of a rundown of my personal story, of my physical limitations. We're just going to talk about a little bit of everything in this journey, touching on the whole gambit of mental health, physical health, programs, makeup, and hair care, all the things in this video. So yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on all of this. And do you do any sort of strength training, exercise, anything like that that you enjoy? Let me know down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. We are barefaced, getting ready. Okay, we're gonna get started. First thing I do when I sit down to get ready for the gym is I go in with a little bit of dry shampoo. What I like to do is preempt the dirty hair with some dry shampoo. And I find that to be a very effective method. Instead of applying the dry shampoo after my hair is already dirty, having it in your hair to begin with soaks it up. It kind of preempts the dirty. And of course you can freshen up a little bit afterwards with the dry shampoo. I feel like this really helps. I also put a little bit of dry shampoo in my hair before I go to sleep at night, because I feel like, you sweat during the night or whatever. It helps. It helps. And you wake up and your hair's fresh. And I have wavy curly hair that's quite frizzy, quite big, floofy hair that is a process to wash. I don't want to have to wash it more than once a week, to be honest with you. So what I do to keep it fresh and looking fairly nice beyond wash day is the dry shampoo. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that around the roots. This is the Olaplex number 4D Clean Volume Detox Dry Shampoo. This one I like because it's virtually invisible. It's very lightweight, has a beautiful fragrance. It's pretty undetectable, but gives you some volume, some lift to the hair. So it's multi-purpose, but this is the current one I'm just using right now. I like it a lot. I think it's a great dry shampoo. I like the Living Proof one. I like the one from Heritage, the Dry Spell dry shampoo. Love that one. But yeah, any dry shampoo that I'm currently in love with is what I go in with. This one's a favorite for before the gym because it doesn't leave a white cast. So this one's usually my during the day dry shampoo. So I just hit a little bit around the root area. And you can see it might leave a little bit of cast, but that disappears pretty fast. So I'm just going to kind of work that in a little bit just by massaging at the root. And we're going to let that hang out for a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put a headband on while we do the rest of this. I like how my headband matches my sports bra. This is my favorite sports bra, by the way. I love this pattern. It's so pretty. Next thing I do like to go in with is a little skincare. Now, depending on what time of day it is, if I'm getting ready earlier in the day to go to the gym, I'll do my full skincare routine. But if it's early morning one, where I'm just gonna go to the gym, come home, and be washing my face, and then getting ready for the day after the fact, I don't do a lot of skincare at that point because I'm just gonna be washing it off. But like today, for example, I'm gonna be working out this evening, but I'm filming early to do this video. So on days like that, or like days when the workout's in the evening and my skincare is going to have time to be on my face, I will go in and do my full skincare routine, and regardless of what time of day my workout is. Even if it's an early morning workout, the sun's usually coming up by the time I leave, if anything. There's tons of windows at my gym. A lot of natural light comes in. So I do like to put on an SPF before I go. I mean, I wear SPF every day, but regardless of whether I'm doing the full skincare routine or not, the SPF is always going on. So I usually swap between these two right here. This is the First Aid Beauty liquid weightless liquid mineral sunscreen. This is a zinc oxide broadband spectrum 30. I love this one so much because it's so lightweight, undetectable on skin, gives a beautiful glow, and kind of works as a primer, so that's really nice. It blurs pores a bit, so it gives you a little help there. And this one does have a slight tint to it to combat the cast that a zinc oxide can give. So this one has kind of a skin-like or skin tone type of cast that basically kind of turns invisible once you work it into the skin, but it just kind of prevents that cast from forming or appearing on the skin. But what that does for me, being a little ghost over here, is that kind of evens out my skin tone a little bit. And yeah, it actually gives me a little bit of color because it has a little bit of pigment in it. And then my other one that I really love using is the Kinship Self-Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen. This is also a zinc oxide SPF 32. This one gives you a glowy finish, works fantastically as a makeup primer. Beautiful product, gives you that kind of nice, a bit of a blurred effect. It's not greasy or oily looking, but it does have a little bit of a glow to it at the same time, but it's not a glow that's gonna like change the finish of your foundation if you were wanting to put something matte over top. You don't have to worry about it, but on its own, it has a beautiful kind of glow to the skin. So I'm gonna use this one today because I haven't used that one on camera as much is this one that I've talked about quite a bit lately. So we're gonna go with the Self-Reflect first. This is the first step if I'm not doing the full shebang on the skin. And this one does have a little bit of that skin tony-ish, like a beige color to it. Beige, that's the color, the descriptor I'm looking for, not skin tone. But yeah, it's got a bit of a sheen in it. It's very pretty. It just wears beautifully on the face, and when you first apply it, you do look like you have a bit of a purple cast, but it works into the skin and disappears really easily. And this is one that I can actually get under my eyes without burning. That is my biggest issue with SPFs, is I usually can't get them near my eyeballs without them burning and watering and feeling like they're on absolute fire. That are just the SPF giving me a rash. So this is one that is very good for sensitive skin. And yeah, just work that in, bring it down, apply it everywhere that you need to apply your SPF. I usually take it towards all onto like whatever's exposed, like the décolleté, shoulders. I like this one because it has the added probiotics and a little extra skin love within it. And this one's kind of pretty thin and weightless feeling once it sets into the skin, which is nice for when you're going to the gym and working out and sweating, because to me, having a lot of stuff on my face when I'm working out feels like I have a layer of something on my face. It feels heavy and it's so unpleasant. Like, I don't want to feel product on my skin while I'm like sweating and working out and trying to focus on that and be distracted by just being uncomfortable. Anything that I have on my body is making me uncomfortable, it doesn't get worn to the gym. Got rid of some sports bras over that. If I have to fuss with it, readjust constantly, no, it's out of here. I don't want anything that is gonna distract me and annoy me while I'm there. I'm gonna let this kind of sink into the skin, do its thing. I usually give it about 5 minutes to work its magic. Don't forget the eyelids, very important. It's delicate skin there. Ears, if your hair is up, ears, back of your neck, always put SPF there as well. And while we're doing all this, I'm gonna give you a little background on myself and my body and all that jazz. So I have scoliosis, which is the biggest culprit of trouble within my body. That's the one that really gives me the most heck. I have scoliosis, and then I also have some degenerative arthritis within my lower back, where things are starting to rub on each other, some bones are meeting. And this is something that has always hurt in my body since my, I think, second grade is when I started noticing having back pain. And spent a lot of time at a lot of doctors, a lot of x-rays, MRIs, all that jazz growing up. Through my elementary years, I've had physical therapy, adaptive PE, occupational therapy, all the therapies as a kid to work on my posture, my back, my feet, my gait, and my gait is not proper because my hips are kind of wonky, my feet are not formed properly. So I had a bad habit of walking on tippy toes because I don't really have much of a heel. And yeah, my hips are uneven also. It's so fun. So yeah, corrective shoes, the whole 9 yards when I was little, and went the majority of my life just kind of dealing with it. A couple of years ago, it started getting way worse. Now, this was during COVID and all this stuff, and I had just not been very active either. And as the pain was getting worse, the less activity I was doing, it was at the point where I was needing mobility aids to get around. I was having to use a cane to walk 20 steps before it felt like my body was going to give out. My legs would start shaking, my back was spazzing, incredibly bad pain. The pain was at a 10. It was terrible, and I have a pretty high pain tolerance. This was reaching a new level of back pain to where I couldn't stand to do anything. It hurt even just sitting. So yeah, it was getting really bad, on a new level of bad. This was the prognosis I was given as a child. By the time I was in my 30s, my mobility was going to go down. I was going to develop degenerative arthritis in the majority of my joints very early in life. And, all these things. I kind of was expecting it, and I think I got a little pretty depressed with the pain and everything, and just was thinking, well, this is what life is. I'm going to be using a walker, wheelchair, all that within the next 5 years. I'm going to be immobile mostly. And I kind of accepted that fate. And I think a little bit was, being told that as a kid. And I don't know. I was always somebody who didn't let the odds or prognosis and stuff, I would do stuff in spite of that. I've been active in my life. I've done roller derby. I've strength trained before. So this isn't new to me, the strength training. I've been active and felt good and had lived a relatively pain-free existence in comparison to the way I was. It was maybe just some normal aches and pains that one would have with arthritis and scoliosis. But it would just, I guess during COVID, because I wasn't going to the gym, I wasn't active, I was staying home a lot, there's just nothing going on, developed bad habits. And my thyroid crapped out, so I also gained 30 pounds. Adding that on top of weakened joints is hard. It creates a lot of extra stress on your body. So I was a mess. Really, just truly a mess. That's why I think a lot of my vlogs within those 2 years was hardly anything of me doing anything because I physically couldn't. I was turning down going shopping. I love just going to a mall. I love just walking around Target. It's just little things like that I truly enjoy doing, and I would do that in spite of the pain most of the time. And it had gotten to the point where the pain was just so bad that I was just nah, I'm going to stay home. Because it hurts. It hurts that bad that I don't care. I don't want to leave. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go to festivals. I don't want to do fun stuff. I don't even want to go out because I know I'll have to stand for maybe 3 minutes and I'm going to be shaking in pain. But yeah, I was letting all that just completely stop me. And I just wasn't living. I wasn't living a real life. I was just playing video games constantly, playing Sims constantly. Didn't want to watch even travel content or anything like that because I thought I'm never going to be able to do that. definitely fell into quite a depression over that. And obviously with the thyroid giving out on you too, that I've always had some like borderline thyroid issues. But, you know, all that stuff kind of snowballs together, and it can cause a lot of depression and anxiety issues, and it's something that I've dealt with my whole life as well. But it was reaching a new level. So I went to the doctor. Let me go ahead and throw on my complexion stuff. Before I get into the changes that I made, I want to go ahead and talk about complexion stuff real quick. I don't apply foundation for the gym. The only times I'm wearing foundation to the gym is if I've gotten ready that day already and it's a later in the day workout. I'm not going to wash my face to go to the gym and then come home and wash my face. So sometimes there is a full glam happening at the gym, but it's not that I did it to go to the gym. It just happened to be on for the day. But if I'm not, you know, filming a video or going anywhere else, the typical thing I put on my skin, and this is what I put on for those early morning workouts as well when I'm going to come home and wash my face and take a body shower anyway. I'll either go over like the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. It was something like this. It does offer just a tad bit of coverage. Kind of takes down some redness. I do have a very red face, so I like to kind of take it down a little bit, neutralize it. And recently I've rediscovered the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector, which I used to hate. I've come to actually appreciate this quite a bit for those gym days. And I'm glad I kept it. Because most stuff I don't like so much, I declutter it. And when it comes to like concealer, I'll go in with something very, very lightweight. Some days I just put on the Ulla Hendrickson Banana Bright Vitamin C Under Eye Corrector. Some days it's just this blended out, just to kind of take down any darkness I might have. It kind of just depends on the mood. But if I'm going for something with like an actual concealer, it'll be like the Makeup Revolution Eye Bright, because it's very sheer product and it just kind of brightens things up and it's glowy. Or something like the True Match Eye Cream in a concealer. I like this one a lot because it does have a sheerness to it, and it's a very light kind of a serum type concealer. Or the NYX Bear With Me concealer serum. You know, something like that that's very serum-like thin, that I'm not going to feel on my face, that I can blend in seamlessly with the rest of my face, and it's not going to look obvious like I have makeup on, just purely for like the correction side of it. That's kind of the thing I like to do. And I might dust a little bit of powder just in the T-zone or the under eye just to set everything, just because I'm gonna be sweating a lot and I'm already kind of oily, greasy, so just a touch of powder doesn't hurt. But I don't always do that either. So I'm going to use the Maybelline 4-in-1 today. I'm actually going to have to buy some more because it has definitely become my go-to. And I just stick to kind of the outer portion of my face. I don't like the way this looks so much on the center of my face. So I keep it out here because it does have a lot of glow in it. I think it can emphasize texture just a bit. But yeah, it stays kind of just out here. And I'm not shy with it either. A little bit on the nose. I just don't like the way it looks right in this region. And yeah, we'll take a little bit down here too. Why not? I like to use a brush because I don't have to get up. I don't have to wet anything. It's just very effortless, especially this one. This is the e.l.f. Duo Complexion brush because it has the big brush and the little brush. Simplify your routine. This is one of those things I don't want to sit here for hours doing makeup to get ready for the gym. Like, this is just very quick out the door makeup. And this is also kind of the routine I would use if I'm just running errands, like run to the store type of thing. But yeah, just buffing it in. Quick, easy is name of the game for this. Anyway, so finally, I made an appointment. I went to the doctor. I mean, I had my kind of regular appointments with the GP anyway, but I decided to kind of talk to her about the back pain because it's like, it's getting so bad that it's disrupting everything in my life. It's controlling my life too much. So we got updated imaging. That's when she found the arthritis that was developing in my back, where I think it's called spondylosis or something like that. It's where the bones are rubbing together or touching. And she sent me to physical therapy for that. And at physical therapy, I learned so much about the importance of building those core muscles and the back muscles to take that pressure off of my spine. And my physical therapy was focused on building strength they found, some of my muscles had completely atrophied and weren't even engaging, period. Like some of the muscles around my hip area, like groin muscle area, they weren't doing a damn thing. And my back muscles weren't really engaging. And it was all just my legs muscle. It was only like my quads and my glutes that were really doing all the work and supporting me. And so there was just a lot of lack of coordination within my muscles. So we worked on that, and I did physical therapy for I think 8 weeks, and it felt like getting my life back doing that. I was able to walk again. The first time I walked 500 feet and was just able to walk, it was like I was so proud of myself. And yeah, it was like I felt like I was given a second chance with mobility from that. And at physical therapy, they're like, we can't believe the progress you made. They were amazed, because they're like, usually people don't progress this well. By the end of physical therapy, we were in the gym setup doing like deadlifts, squats, and learning proper form to strength train, because that was my ultimate goal, was to get back into the gym in some capacity to lift without hurting myself. And yeah, I was able to lift weights and do stuff again by the end of the physical therapy. And they're like, just keep it light, easy peasy, that kind of stuff, to not hurt yourself. And learned techniques about form and how to keep things very stable within my body so I don't injure my back. We do like K-tape or kinesiology, I don't know how to pronounce it, taping for to hold muscles in alignment, things like that I do, and I still incorporate into my life. It helps keep my muscles and spine kind of aligned with each other and happy. We're gonna use some L'Oreal True Match eye cream, the concealer today, but that made just all the difference in the world, was taking that time for myself, going to the doctor, addressing problems. I'm somebody who has medical anxiety, so I'm not great about doing these things. And I also was just kind of hopeless. I was like, there's nothing they can do to help me. And no, I was totally wrong about that. And I also wanted like no intervention as far as like a surgical intervention with this. And unless it was just an absolutely dire situation, I didn't want to do steroid shots and all this other stuff. I wanted to try to fix it myself. I just like had this snap in my head where I'm like, no, we're going to change this. We know we can feel better. Like, I know I can feel better. I've felt better before. I've lived with less pain before. I know I can do it. I just need to do it. So that was part of it. There was just being proactive for myself. And okay, so I take a little bit of the concealer just like that. And we're gonna just put a little bit right in here. And kind of a little bit onto the cheek where I do get some redness. So yeah, get that motivation finally back, because the pain was slowly lessening. And some of the things that I learned in physical therapy definitely still carry over into my life today. I still do like the stretches and some of those small workouts just to help with, on those rest days, to keep my muscles limber, because I do have trouble with muscle tension. My muscles do get very, very tense, and using a massage gun on a regular basis is something that really helps, especially after a workout. Help relieve some of the lactic acid buildup and all that. So that's something I've continued to incorporate. And warming up, making sure everything is happy before I get in the gym and start lifting. Now, when I started back in the gym 4 months ago, it was May. This is August. 4 months ago, we started back at the gym. Me and my husband, both of us. And before that, I was just doing the physical therapy at home and slowly increasing resistance and like adding in 5-pound weights. That was the extent that I was doing at home. I was just doing body weight work, just leg lifts, hip thrusts on like bridges, glute bridges, stuff like that. Anything to build that lower back core strength type of stuff. I wasn't doing anything very challenging anymore. And the thing is, those workouts were nearly impossible for me when I first started. I'm talking about laying on your back and just lifting your leg and then putting it down, like laying marches. That was hard for me at the beginning. So here we are, 4 months in. And when I first started going to the gym, actually in person, and not just doing little physical therapy things at home, I was just doing 5 pounds. Very, very lightweight, a little bit of cardio, like as a warm up, just very, very gentle, easy stuff. There was not a lot of weight going on, and just steadily have been working at it. I've incorporated progressive overload into my workout routine now, and that is where you increase your weight, your reps or whatever, the tempo, until failure. Like you're pushing yourself and lifting until you can't lift anymore. I'm not going to be the best to explain how that works, but if you look up progressive overload, it's a great technique for building muscle. Once I started seeing progress at the gym, as far as being able to just lift heavier weight and stuff, I was so motivated. That was just like another switch flipped in my head, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna become muscle mommies now. I want to lift heavy. I want to be strong. Like, I don't care about getting skinny or like losing weight and that side of it at all. I want a strong body. Simple as that. And I want to feel strong and not struggle in my day-to-day life with everything. And I've been slowly increasing my weights or my reps, or just slowing the tempo down. Anything to reach that kind of progressive overload point where you feel like you can't lift another one. And I tend to try to do as heavy as I can while maintaining proper form. That is kind of the name of the game. And it has been so satisfying, so rewarding, and so fun seeing my muscles show for the first time, and just picking weight and it feeling light and being able to go up. It's one, I don't know how picking something heavy up can be so rewarding, but it is. It's so empowering. You feel invincible, and it's such a good feeling. And I know that some people with the gym, they get really into it, especially if they're doing like bodybuilding, they can fall into like a bit of a dysmorphia with it. And that is a problem, but I'm really not. I'm not somebody who is that bothered about aesthetics to get that worried about that side of things. Girl, I want to be lifting hard and heavy. And I feel like I'm making incredible progress with that. Of course, it's still that beginner gain stage. Like your first year, girl, you could be going up in weight pretty easily. That's just a thing. It's called beginner gains. And eventually you kind of start to plateau, and that's when you really gotta try things out and experiment with your program whether you're following a program or you create one yourself. It's more about just being strong and being consistent, sticking to that same routine until the time comes that I need to change something up. And one of the things I've learned that has been very helpful with all of that is making a plan for yourself when it comes to working out. So what I did is I went online. I did research. I looked at workouts. I looked at different fitness influencers, looked at what they did at the gym and their little programs that they had. Didn't pay for any of these programs, by the way. Just whatever content was free. Looked at it, researched the proper form, technique for it, and customized my own program that fit within my mobility levels. Because even though my back is a lot better and my mobility has improved dramatically, I still have physical limitations because I don't have properly formed joints in my body. I can't straighten my arm out, for example. My elbows are fused. They don't have range of motion in them. Same with my shoulders. Same with my knees, my ankles, my fingers. Every joint in my body is pretty much like that to some extent or the other. Some are better than others. So I'm not going to be able to do every single workout. And that was something that used to really bother me when I've done strength training before. I would get so down on myself and so upset that I couldn't do a certain move because my body just wouldn't allow it, because I'm not made that way. All right, what I like to do also is go with a little bit of cream bronzer, bring a little color back in. I'm just going to take the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I would beat myself up over not being able to do a burpee or use the squat rack. I can't use the squat rack because my arms don't physically go far enough back for me to hold it on the back of my shoulders. I can't reach back that far because my joints don't move that way. I have the opposite of hypermobility. I would used to just beat myself up about not being able to do those types of things, and that has been something that has changed a lot in me this go around, is that I don't care that I can't do a rack squat. Big deal. I can do squats with dumbbells. I can do squats with a kettlebell. I'm still hitting all those muscles and doing the same things. So what if I can't do the one thing that I'm seeing on Instagram all the time? I'm going to do what my body allows me to do. And maybe, the shoulder mobility can improve over time with more. It might. I don't know. And there'll be a time that I'll go back and I'll try it again and see if I can get my arms back there. But at the moment, that's something that I just can't physically do. And that's okay, because I can do sumo squats with a ton of weight. I can do goblet squats. I can do leg press, and I can do hack squats and all these other things that are the same workout basically. You just do it a little bit differently. So that has been a bit of a change, I think, in my mentality of working out, is that I'm not comparing myself at all to anybody with it anymore. I'm not looking at, oh, I can't do that, I'm a failure. No, it doesn't matter. If I'm doing what makes me feel good, I'm still building my muscle like I want to and working hard. It doesn't matter that I can't do it on a rack with a bar. It doesn't matter. I'm not competing in any competitions where I'm being judged on that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's another thing, is just go. I'm a lot easier on myself about those things and realizing my limitations while still pushing myself and challenging those limitations as well. Like, another thing that I can't do is I can't do a pull-up. I can't dead hang even, because my hands don't work good. I physically can't grip to do that. It's not so much the body weight, it's that my hands just don't work. I have very weak fingers, they're underdeveloped. I don't have good grip strength. So am I going to continue to try to dead hang? Yeah. Eventually I might get there where I can do it, but right now that's something that isn't in the cards at the moment. I'm going to continue to work on things that just build grip strength and hopefully strengthen my hands and try my best with that. But right now, I can't do it. And that's not the end of the world. Like, I've found ways I can work around and do other stuff. I can do pull-ups that are at just an incline on the rack machine or on the Smith machine or something and just pull myself up that way. I can do lat pull downs. Other stuff that I can get the same effect without just having to do a pull-up, right? That's like one of those little things everybody kind of gauges themselves on, is, can I do a pull-up? Maybe one day I will be, but today is not that day. But I can do all these other movements that target the same things without feeling like my fingers are gonna break. And another, speaking of the grip strength, that is my biggest hurdle with upper body day. when it comes to doing anything, is my hands do give out on me before the rest of my body does, like easily. So I did invest in some lifting straps. That does help when I'm doing stuff with dumbbells. Like if I'm doing my rows or something, I can put the lift strap on and do rows with a 20-pound dumbbell pretty easily. That's been a big help there. And like lat pulls, I know lat pulls kill my hands regardless of the weight. It's just arthritis in my hands. So what I do is I save the lat pull downs for the end of the workout, so that way I don't fatigue my hands too early. Little things like that I'm kind of learning and adapting and not getting down on myself about. I've customized a program for myself that is truly like catered to my body. And I'm doing this without a personal trainer, no actual outside help. Occasionally I ask the trainer at the gym a question because he's just really cool and a nice guy, or ask my friend that does sports medicine a question, make sure my form is right. You know, little things like that. But as far as like coming to my program, I spent a little bit experimenting, trying things out at the gym and seeing how it felt. Was it something that is putting me in like physical like bone pain? Because there's a difference between muscle pain and bone pain. If it's muscle pain, that's fine to an extent. I mean, unless you're like feel like your muscles ripping, obviously don't do that. But does it hurt in my joints? Does it hurt in the bone? That's a no-go for me for the time being, at least, until I maybe build some muscle up around that joint that can help compensate or whatever. So that's something that I look for when I'm trying a new move out or whatever, is how does it feel within my body? Does it feel like I'm gonna injure myself? And if I do, I take a step back, either I lower the weight, try it again that way and see, okay, is this something I can do? And sometimes those workouts will be workouts that have zero weight on them. It's just more about getting that mobility back in that joint. For example, butterflies, the machine where you do this, that was something when I first started I couldn't do. My shoulders were screaming when I would do that, and now I could do it with 15 whole pounds on the machine. But my shoulders are getting stronger and they don't crunch and feel like they're gonna rip out of the socket anymore, because I took it slow and just worked on that mobility side of things before I jumped in there trying to lift heavy weight and feel like I was actually gonna like rip my rotator cuff or something. One of my biggest pieces of advice is definitely learning the differences within the pains at the gym, because you're going to feel pain. That's part of it, but there's good pains and then there are the bad pains. The good pains are the muscle burn, the fatigue you'll feel, where you go to failure and you are shaking and you feel like you can't lift that bar one more time. That's the good feeling. If you're feeling pain within a bone, that's the bad feeling. Does it feel like you're ripping a rotator cuff, your knee, anything like that? Girl, take a step back. Either take all the weight off, just use the machine's weight itself, slowly work your way up, and avoid anything that is giving you that kind of pain. Also, there is the strained muscle pain or ripping feelings. You know the difference between the muscle burn and like, oh, you just pulled a muscle pain, because they feel different. And you'll learn that everyone's going to make that mistake of pulling a muscle at the gym. Everyone's going to do it. It's not the end of the world. You just take a break. Let it heal. Don't push yourself. Don't put yourself back in the gym 2 days later knowing you have a pulled muscle, because that's when you strain it and potentially can rip it. And things can get real bad and you'll end up having to have surgery. Sorry, the lighting changed because two of my lights died. One of my lights died. So we're going to deal with things being a little bit dimmer because I'm rambling so much at you. Blush. Let's put a little bit of blush on. I usually just do a cream blush, either the Danessa Myricks blush or a Milani cream blush or the Wet n Wild Mega Glow stick. Mine broke, so I've got to get a new one. So I guess today I think we're going to go in with a little bit of the Danessa Myricks. It's very important, to avoid those injuries and just be aware of how things feel within your body. Have a good mind-muscle connection. I know that sounds so cliche, but it is true. And it helps to even like touch the muscle area you're working because it makes you focus on that area. It's a weird little thing, but it does. It works. So that's something I was taught in physical therapy, how to tell the difference between bone pain, muscle pain, all that. That was something we focused on. And I think it's important for everybody to kind of keep that in mind to avoid injury. Especially if you're doing progressive overload, you're working hard. Sometimes, you might accidentally hurt yourself. It's gonna happen, but to avoid the big detrimental injuries is you need to be aware of how things are feeling. Because if you get one of the bad injuries, you're out for a couple of months type of thing. I have ripped a quad muscle in my day during roller derby. That is a unique pain. It feels like a hot knife goes through your leg. It is awful, and it will hurt for a long time. And occasionally, I do get a little muscle strain in that same quad because there's scar tissue in it. And I know that I gotta take a step back, skip a leg day maybe, ice it, love on it, baby it. It's just kind of part of it. And that's part of just getting older too. You're gonna have some random pains. Anyway, put a little bit of this blush on, light hand with the Denessa. And speaking of my little plan though, my own little program, I do have this notebook here that I write everything down in. I plan out what I'm gonna do that day at the gym. Like for example, here's like a leg day. And I write down all the workouts that I do, all the different ones, the amount of weight I use, and the amount of reps and sets that I do of everything. And then I write down the amount of time I did for my cardio just to keep track of it. Like my typical leg day is leg press, leg extensions, hamstring curls, lying hamstring curls, hip thrusts, RDL, deadlift, and I'll throw in sumo squats, and I'll throw in like doing the Roman chair, some kind of core workout in there as well. And then like a typical arm workout is tricep pull downs, lat pulls, rows. I'll do some flies, bench press maybe. Depends on mood. I don't do every single thing. Like I have a big list of workouts that I like, and then I kind of pick and choose from there. But they're workouts that are consistent with each other, where it's still working the same muscle group, it's just maybe on a different piece of equipment. You gotta have a little bit of variety in there, or else it gets really boring. But yeah, I do dumbbell curls, dumbbell rows. If I don't do on the row machine, I do the dumbbell curls instead, or the dumbbell rows instead. I'll do dumbbell presses instead of bench press. Back extensions. That's something I do on my lower body day. Actually, it's on the wrong page, but I did them that day. And there'll be those weird workouts that will come easy to you and feel like nothing to do. Like, for example, I'm really good at pull workouts. That's when you're pulling down, lat pulls, anything like that. Anything that's a pulling motion, I'm great at that. I can do very, very heavy. Leg day, I can do fairly heavy on leg day. But push day, or doing push workouts like bench presses, stuff like that that uses a lot of chest muscle, I'm awful. I'm absolutely awful at that, and that's something I'm working on. There is building up that push strength. That's one of my little kind of mini focuses there, is to make sure I incorporate some push workouts in, and that it's not all just pull stuff. Like my husband, great at push workouts. He can bench press. He can bench press my body weight. No problem. And I'm a big girl. Me, I don't even put weight on it, and I'm struggling by that 5th rep, but I'm trying. And eventually I will be able to put weight on that machine. And that will be a good day. Okay, a little bit of blush. I always bring a little bit onto the eyes as well. I like to do this and like keep things kind of monochromatic. But it is really, I think, a great thing to do if you are trying to strength train or any sort of training, is to write down what you do. Kind of make yourself a routine. Create yourself a routine within that, because it's going to help you make progress, see those results that you want to see. Be it just wanting to see the muscles or whatever. It's going to keep you on track, keep you consistent, and stick with that until it gets too easy. Stick with it until it gets easy. And instead of changing my whole program, I just tweak that one exercise. If it gets too easy, I go up and wait, or I increase my reps, whatever. Sometimes you'll come across, where one weight is way too light, but the next weight up is just too heavy. Because you maybe need say you're going from 15 pounds on a press with a dumbbell to a 20 pound. Well, a 20 pound is just, you can maybe do 2 reps before you lose form. It's too heavy. So what I do is I stick with that lower weight, but I'll increase the amount of reps I do within the sets, and I'll slow it down dramatically. Like, keep the muscles under tension even longer and do just a very slow tempo. That will make the workout 10 times harder in the best way. Like, you will feel some burn, and you're obviously supposed to kind of have a decent slow kind of tempo when you're lifting anything. You're not supposed to be in there flailing. Now at this point we can set whatever needs to be set. I don't always put on like a highlighter or anything like that, just because I'm going to be glowy enough, trust me. But I'm going to put a little bit of powder on the T-zone. And I'm just going to use just kind of whatever powder is out. Like something maybe I'm trying to use up or pan, such as like the Wet n Wild one here. And I just take a little bit right around my nose and here. Now I know I'm going to sweat and stuff around my hairline. I'm not going to try to set that. I'm just going to let it be. Because I know I'm going to have to wipe my face with a towel. Because girl, when I'm in there, I ain't messing around. I'm going to be pouring sweat. I am in there being full on She-Hulk, because that is just who I am. I get pure enjoyment from lifting heavy things. And I always have. The first time I ever lifted weights, I was in high school, and it was at PE, and they let us go in the weight room. And I begged to go back in there. I begged my mom to let me join the weightlifting team. And she was just like, that ain't happening. Nope, you'll hurt yourself. Which, fair enough, because I am obviously do have quite a few like physical limitations there and could potentially really hurt myself. But something about lifting heavy things, girl, it made me feel amazing. And I just loved it. And it's taken me until 36 to get back in there and really, really focus on it. And yeah, better late than never. Here's the thing, is that I am obviously seeing progress with those beginner gains and all that, of course. We're going to do brows now. And at some point, yeah, there's going to be some plateaus in there with everything. I know that's part of it, and it's not a big deal to me. And that's part of the process. I want to talk about like the changes that I've seen outside the gym. Because yeah, it's all well and good, cool, lifting heavy in the gym. But to me, the real progress has been outside. Where that's been the most rewarding part, honestly, in a different way. Like, yeah, it's fun to go up a weight and all that stuff and be like, yeah. But when day-to-day tasks in life become easier, that's rewarding. This time last year, I couldn't even get groceries by myself. I had to lean on a buggy the whole time. My husband had to help me. Now I go into the grocery store on my own. The only reason I get a buggy is because I'm getting too much stuff to carry in my arms. I don't need the buggy to lean on. I can carry all my groceries to the car in one load, not bringing the buggy all the way with me. I can just carry them. And I'm talking like my full groceries. And I'm not like going crazy pushing myself about to die to do this. It's just like, oh, I can carry 12 can case of Cokes like it's nothing. Carry all my bags, put them in the car, bring them in the house. Like, it's something that I didn't realize would make me feel so good to be able to do again. That was such an incredible feeling to be able to just carry my groceries out of the store for the first time and not be in pain, not be out of breath, not feeling like I'm about to die. That was with my heart not pounding out of my chest. was such a good feeling. I'm taking the NYX Thick It Stick It. I used to use any kind of brow gel just to kind of go in and kind of find my brows because they are very pale. Instead of using a pencil or anything, I just bring this backwards through and just kind of brush them into shape. But this just makes it where I can see the hairs and see where I might need to fill in without going over the top. Yeah, just like something like that, that I think, yeah, that's something a lot of people take for granted, is just being able to go get groceries for themselves. And I was in that place where that was something that was very hard for me and would have me in pain 2 days straight afterwards, for now to it to just be so easy. I was only want to cry thinking about that, and just being able to go to a store and like walk around. And yeah, my back still hurts. It still hurts. It's not hurting to the point where my legs are shaking and I need to sit down and I'm gonna fall down feeling. I don't feel like I'm gonna collapse anymore. That has been an incredible feeling. Being able to do my dishes, stand at the sink, wash dishes, load the dishwasher without being in pain, being able to stand up and do things in the kitchen, being able to cook dinner again. Those were things I couldn't do. I couldn't even stand to wash dishes. Like, I couldn't stand up in the shower. I mean, to be able to do these simple daily tasks again has been the biggest win in my book. My energy levels are through the roof also. I sleep really good at night. I wake up at 4 in the morning, or the equivalent of whatever time, and I am go, feeling great until bedtime. That's also been a really nice improvement, is feeling so much more energetic and just feeling good throughout the day, and not being foggy and tired the whole day. Big change there. I'm gonna take a little bit of the brow tint pen from NYX. This is an ash brown, and I just take this through where I might need a few more little hairs. Right out here. And another thing, another question, I think people are like, why aren't you putting makeup on to go to the gym? Why are you bothering with this? Here's my thought process of why I bother putting on makeup. Because there's many a day that I don't, and I don't care. I just go in there, bare face, no brows, nothing, and work out, and that's fine. But I feel like having that little bit of this kind of makeup on, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. And when you feel confident at the gym, I feel like you just do better. I don't know, it just makes you feel better while you're there. And I feel like I just get a better workout when I'm just feel good about myself while I'm there. And I am somebody who does makeup just because I enjoy doing it, and it is just something that I like. And it's not that I don't feel good about myself without makeup or any of that. Like, I don't care. I will go barefaced to the store, whatever, anytime. It just depends on what I feel like, honestly. But something about taking that little bit of time, making yourself feel a little cute to go to the gym, really, to me, makes a difference. Like, I feel a little more powerful, and confident when I get in there. And I think it's just kind of a nice thing to do for yourself. Another thing, like buying yourself some cute gym outfits. I'm not saying buy a bunch of matching sets from Gymshark. I'm not doing that. But I mean, just pick up a pair of shorts here that I think are cute, or this or that, a cute t-shirt. T-shirts with little funny sayings, stuff like that. Like, that makes me feel good at the gym, having like a cute outfit on, and I'm not in there wearing little sports bras and biker shorts with the scrunched up butt type of thing. I don't care about that. I just like to put on a cute sports bra with a nice color I like, and maybe some cute little shorts that I enjoy, and I just dress for myself and put on what I think looks cute to me, what makes me feel good, and what's comfortable. The biggest thing, comfort. Like, yeah, there's plenty of cute outfits for the gym that I see for sale. There's no way those are comfortable. I've tried a mini sports bra and stuff. If it's rolling up, if it's cutting in, it's out of here. Feeling comfortable and cute in an outfit, I think, just makes you feel good. And not everybody is going to agree with that, and that's fine. You do you. Wear what you want. Do what makes you happy. And that's why, like, I do the little weird things I do, because it makes me feel good and happy. I'm doing what makes me feel confident and strong. Not because Whitney Simmons is doing it on Instagram and that I think I need to copy her or something. No. Girl, I'm doing what I enjoy. And just like all other aspects of my life, I do what makes me happy with it and what feels good to me, and don't care what anyone else thinks. And also, nobody in the gym is looking at you. They are focused in doing their own workouts. No one cares what you're in there doing. I have zero self-consciousness when it comes to that sort of thing. Now I throw on a little bit of some brow gel just to lock these babies in place. Use a bit of the brow lift from e.l.f. I found this holds up through a heavy workout, so. But yeah, I usually wear like some little kind of flowy like runner shorts that have the built-in leggings underneath. Those to me are just the most comfortable to wear. I don't have to worry about, you know, looking like I have a wedgie or anything like that. They don't roll down on me. They're just comfortable. And that's what I look for. And they're also kind of cute. I wear a sports bra with a tank top over it most of the time because I don't like being hot. But sometimes I just throw on an old t-shirt, whatever, and just go. Like, just whatever feels good that day. I don't have a distinct, like, oh, well, I gotta put on this gym outfit to go work out. No. Every day it changes, just depends on the mood. And some days I feel like being cuter than other days when I go. Alright, and for mascara, I pick one that is quite water resistant. I don't do waterproof, but I'll do one that's like water resistant that to me feels like it's gonna hold up really well. And that's like the telescopic from L'Oreal is kind of my go-to in the black brown. It's just a really nice kind of day-to-day mascara because it's not too much. And just throw a little bit of this on. But I think doing these little things for yourself, the stuff that would make you feel good in other aspects of your life, like putting on a little makeup, what's it hurting to do that if I'm going to the gym? I'm still feeling good, still getting in there, having fun, doing my workout, working hard, and I just feel even more confident. And that's another thing. The self-confidence boost that lifting something heavy or just doing physical activity will give you. Do I look like a fitness Instagram model? Absolutely not. And I don't want to. I'm happy with the progress I'm making. And I know I don't look like Whitney Simmons or Jen Heward or, you know, these other girls that I've followed for years and just enjoy their content regardless. Like, but I know I don't look like them. And that's okay. Because I still feel good and still am strong. And yeah, that's what matters to me, is just that strength and just feeling good. And it just, when you feel good physically, it just kind of impacts the rest. To me, the confidence goes up. You just feel a little more, yeah. And that also can have very healthy impacts on like your relationships, your marriages, if you know what I mean. Feeling good about yourself helps out other aspects of life. And do any of my clothes fit me currently? Absolutely not. They're either too big or too little. I don't care. I still feel cute because I'm like, yeah. And when I see muscles showing though, girl, that is, talk about a little ego boost to me. My husband recorded a clip of me doing curls. And when I saw those muscles in my arms, I was like, whose body is that? That ain't me. And then I was filming myself for a vlog the other day, doing some squats, and I saw what my butt looked like. How different it looks. You know, just things like that, parts of my body that I can't see. I was shocked. because like my butt's so much rounder than it was. It's not flat. So I've always had big hips, but kind of a flat butt. No, it's like rounded out now. I'm like, oh no. Oh yeah. It's like just little things like that have been fun. But still, I think my favorite takeaway though is just how much easier life outside of the gym has gotten. How much more I'm enjoying my life day to day now. And priorities have changed. I've changed with like, but you know, a few years ago, our priority would have been going to a bar, going out. Me and my husband were talking about that. Like, we would rather be in the gym any day over going sitting at a bar. That's just these little things that have changed, and developing like those little good habits, and then feeling like I need to move, I need to do something. I've got energy. I need to channel it somewhere, like cleaning the house, organizing things, and taking care of my home. That has been such a good, rewarding aspect of it. Like being a little more proactive about doing something instead of waiting until like it has to be done, like laundry or whatever, or doing the dishes instead of waiting for it to pile up. Like I get there and just do them because I have the energy and I feel good to do it, and I can do it now. Whereas before it was procrastination city. I used to just go with a lip liner, some kind of natural shade that is, you know, something that would be kind of native to my skin tone. You know, one of these like shades like this, just something that I like that has a good wear time on it. I think we'll go with this one today. This is actually from Elle from Retro Paradise collection. It's really old, and I just kind of picked it up the other day because I forgot that it existed and kind of like it again. Yeah, and I just put that on with a little bit of gloss. And it's basically my lip color but better. I just kind of overline them a little bit, make them look a little more full. And something else, like just talking about, you know, improving. I feel like going to the gym, working out has improved my marriage a lot. Not just in the wink, wink, nudge, nudge way, but just a bonding experience. We work out together. We motivate each other. And it's fun. Really. We are each other's cheerleaders. There's a couple machines that I struggle with adjusting myself. I'm just not good at it. I can't reach the handle or something. My husband comes and helps me with that after he's done his workout. Like little things like that, and then him sneakily increasing weight on me. If I ask him to put plates on something for me, he'll maybe put a 45-pound where I was just using a 35-pound last time, and doesn't tell me just to see if I can do it. And you know what? That works every time. There's like that instinctive like limitation. I think everyone kind of puts on themselves a little bit when increasing weight. You're like, oh well, I can't do that. That's too heavy. And it's just this weird little thing of not knowing that's how much weight is on there, and you thinking it's still 70 pounds on something, and it's actually 100 pounds on there, and you do it like it's fairly, you know, you can still maintain form. You're like, wow, it's a little heavier than last time, but oh yeah, it's 30 pounds heavier. Oh, like that little trick works great on me. And he's not putting more than he knows that I can do. He encourages me to try harder and lift heavier than I think I can. And that's the kind of motivation I need, because sometimes, you know, you'll get kind of stuck or scared to go up in weight because you're afraid it's going to be too hard. And it's nice to have somebody that can be like, just try it. I got you. I'll spot you. I'm right here. I'm holding on to something. You know, holding on to the weight or whatever. I'm making sure you're not going to drop it. Because that is one of my biggest fear is dropping weights and like pinching my fingers. That it's a phobia I have of getting my fingers caught in things. So that's why my husband helps me like rack weights and adjust machines sometimes, because I'm like, I have such a phobia of catching my fingers in anything. So he does help me with that stuff, which is really nice. And it's just nice to have somebody to kind of talk to while you're working out, and you can like look over each other and be like, yeah, even if we're like on opposite sides of the gym. But my favorite times is when it's just me and him in there and there's no one else there, and we can kind of goof around, or we'll try out a new machine or a new technique and just kind of experiment. We'll do that kind of at the end of a workout. It's just fun to do. And I also like when the trainer's there though, because he usually comes over and talks to us and like that kind of thing. I love that. And I've had an overwhelmingly positive experience with everyone that goes to my gym. Everyone there has been so incredibly nice. I'm talking down to the little high school boys in Crocs and PJ pants, and they're trying to do their first pull-up. They are the sweetest kids. They're not sitting there holding up a machine or anything. Like when I walk past and they're over there trying to do their first little pull-up and, trying to bench press, and they'll stop and be like, do you want to use this machine? Are we in your way, ma'am? Like, no, you're fine, go ahead. Like, just sweet stuff like that. And then like other young men, they're like college age or are in there like, lifting, they're like strong, and you'll come up next to them and be doing something, and they're like, oh, hi. You kind of like nod at each other, like acknowledge each other's existence because you're on benches right next to one another. And if you just ask a question or just say anything to them, they get so excited. And it's very sweet. Like, I asked this one fella like what something was. There was this weird hand grip on one of the weights, and I asked him what it was, and he was like, just stopped what he was doing and got so excited because he got to explain to me what something was involving his passion, which is working out. And it wasn't like a mansplaining, condescending thing at all. It was just, he was truly passionate about what he's doing and was so excited that anybody asked him about it. And it was very, very, like, just kind of cute and sweet. And I was like, oh, thanks. And we just started talking. We're like, he's like, oh, how long you been working out? This and that, just back and forth, super friendly stuff. And I've had that kind of interaction multiple times with the guys at the gym, the gym bros that you think are gonna be so unfriendly and that everybody's all about. They're the nicest guys at the gym half the time. Really, truly. There's this other dude in there who is like serious bodybuilder. Like, he's writing down every little thing he does as he does it. Like, I just type it into my phone. I mean, he was taking plates and chaining them to his waist with the belt and doing like dips and like, I mean, he was serious. Nicest guy ever. Like, he was offering me, he was using, I think, the 10-pound weights for something. He's like, do you need these? You sure you don't need these? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm fine. I went and grabbed the 15s. Just stuff like that, just very sweet, and just, it's like stuff like that's happened multiple times, just having nice conversations. And like seeing somebody else do a workout that you're curious about, go ask them. They love it. 9 times out of 10, they like being asked. All right, now I'm just gonna top it with a little bit of gloss, and we're gonna be done with our makeup. I'm just rambling at you at this point. This is a video I wanted to do, like, just to kind of talk about this stuff and get your opinion on things. But just take a little gloss on the center of the lips. I'm just using the Maybelline Hyaluronic Tinted Hyaluronic, what is it? What are these called? Lifter glosses. Sometimes I just use chapstick, whatever, or lip balm, whatever feels good. The other day, my husband was doing stuff on the dumbbells, and there was a fellow next to him doing lat raises in a different way. And like, he asked him, he was like, hey, tell me about like what you're doing. I didn't hear exact words. And that guy was like so excited to just be like, oh yeah, I just found this online. And it was just such a nice experience. And you make these like gym acquaintance friends. And so next time you see him there, you're like, oh, hey, what's up? It's nice. Everyone there has been so kind. And I know that's not across the board. Every gym is going to feel that way. And I always saw myself as somebody who would not be very social at the gym. Like, I would be very standoffish and not want to, big headphones on, leave me alone type. But no, actually, I don't wear my headphones when I'm working out, when I'm lifting or any of that part. I'm engaging with what's going on. I'm talking to my husband, sometimes talking to somebody else. A couple of my friends work out there, so I talk to them. If we happen to be there at the same time, it's fun. And it's one of those things that really does change you a little bit. But that being said, like I was talking about, it's improved that, I think, connection between me and my husband. We have something new we're bonding over. And it's really fun because he's really gotten into lifting and enjoys it. And he's taking it serious as well, and not just in there doing a couple of things. Like, he's tracking what he's doing and really making an effort. It's given us something like to really, I don't know, like we celebrate our 13th dating anniversary by going to the gym at 3 in the morning and working out for almost 2 hours together by ourselves. And it was freaking fantastic. And it was so much fun. Like that kind of stuff, I love it. And it's fun to find something to bond over, something new to bond over. And I'm not spending my days in front of a computer all day doing nothing either. Like I work at my computer and then that's it. I'm not just sitting there playing Sims all day. And that's not any hate to anybody who does that, because I love playing Sims. It's like it's just not become a priority anymore. Like I don't know, I'd rather be doing something physical. Like I'd rather be doing something like around the house. And yeah, it's just these small other changes and improvements that have been taking hold that have been so nice all around. Okay, and then when it comes to actually when I'm working out though, what I do with my hair, pineapple on top of my head. Let me find it. Here it is. One of these little guys. I think they call them, the brand name is Invisibobbles foam cords. If you're an old lady like me, this is a foam cord. I flip my hair upside down. And there we go. That's what I do with my hair. And as soon as I get home, I take it out of the ponytail. I may brush out anything if I need to. And I go in with this from Dad. This has been an absolute game changer for me. This is the No Sweat Post-Workout Mist. This is meant to eliminate post-workout sweat and buildup out of the hair. It has apple cider vinegar in it. You shake it up, you spray it at the root, kind of massage it in, and you can take it through the length of the hair and kind of use it as a refresh spray. I do that. I hit it with a diffuser. My curl clumps are back. Everything is looking good. This I would recommend to anybody, not just wavy curly girls, but just anybody who likes physical activity, or in these summer months and this heat wave. This is a fantastic product to have as soon as I get home from the gym. It's body shower, wash the face, and refresh the hair with this guy. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And that's usually what I do when I get home, is either, honestly, most of the time I take a bath when I get home. I soak in some Epsom salt, because that does help relieve some of the lactic acid and any like muscle soreness, that immediate muscle soreness that you get after the gym. I like to take kind of a pretty hot bath with some Epsom salt. Like I use my Dr. Teal's. I've talked about Dr. Teal's for years. I throw it into my Dr. Teal's and I just hang out and I watch a show and I rest and relax for a little while, and then I get my hair refreshed and I'm usually ready to either start my day fully, depending on the time, or go to bed. It depends on the time of the day of the workout. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. I know I'm just very chatty in this one, but there's so many little things I wanted to mention. But yeah, my goals with working out though isn't aesthetic. It isn't to look like an Instagram model or fitness model. It's to feel good. It's to feel strong. It's to not be in pain every day. It's to be able to live my life and not be held back by my own body. Because it was really bad a couple of years ago, or last year. It was bad. Yeah, I feel like I'm taking my life back is what I'm doing. And there's nothing really beyond that to it. It's not about the aesthetics. It's not about trying to get skinny. It's not about trying to get huge. It's about just feeling good, doing what feels good, and getting strong. And in the process, hey, if I got some muscles showing or lose a little weight, that's cool too. Whatever. But I'm not focused on weight loss or any of this other stuff. I'm focused on overall health. I'm doing the cardio for my cardiovascular system, not for the fat burning or anything like that, or calorie burning. I'm doing it because I need to strengthen my heart and my lungs, because my doctor told me to. That was one of the things, like with my breast doctor. She mentioned she wants me to increase the blood flow and get all my cardiovascular system peak condition, because I am potentially having a mastectomy next year, and that's going to be a big, huge surgery, because it's not just the mastectomy, but it's going to be what they call a D-flap surgery. And you need your cardiovascular system to be in peak condition for that, because the the blood flow is incredibly important for it because you need the blood flow for the transplants and all that stuff to work. See, that's part of my motivation in this. It's just to be in my best condition before I undergo a major surgery and enjoy my life and take it back. Not be held back by back pain and body pain. And yeah, I still have back and body pain, but it's become very tolerable compared to before. So anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know some of your favorite ways to get your body moving that make you feel good. Do you work out? Do you have any tips and tricks to share? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky, and we'll work on being muscle mommies together.